Everybody, glad to see everybody still here, and it's kind of surreal. It's how many years now that we've been doing this? A year and a half. Yeah.
30 some days.
Yeah.
And everybody's out here in the cold. It's not as cold as I thought, but I came down for just go to Luke Coffey's trial. So I was there in the courtroom yesterday, and you know, a lot of his trial has a lot to do with Roseanne Boylan and Lila Morris. If you're familiar with Roseanne, she was killed like Ashley was that day, and everybody else. And the woman who was seen beating her lifeless body on the steps of the Capitol was testifying yesterday in court. Her name is Lila Morris, and she literally came there with basically a security detail like I've never seen before. Every cop that I've seen testify, including Gunnell and quote-unquote J6 celebrity cops, don't have a detail. They come in the front door, they leave by themselves, and then the media is free to ask them questions. So I waited outside for Lila to ask some questions, and they snuck her out the basement somehow. Even the security at the front wasn't even aware that there was this entrance where she was being treated like some sort of high celebrity witness, and you know, they didn't want the media asking her questions. It was really hard to watch because every time the attorneys would try to enter into evidence video on Roseanne that was close up or slow motion or showing how she was, you know, brutalized that day, the prosecutors tried to have it blocked from being submitted as evidence, and they just really painted Lila Morris as a victim when in reality she is far from it. Obviously, everybody saw the video that day of her beating Roseanne Boylan. So I was there and I wrote an article on it. You could go to the Gateway Pundit, everybody, and read it in detail about her testimony. It was the first time she's ever testified, and I was really hoping that the Boylan family would sue her in court. Maybe one day they can find a way to do that and you know, get some answers for their daughter like Ashley. Her case just was started on January 6th, and I was so glad to see that, because going to court is really the only way, I think, to now get some of these people and get the information that we need. And the good news is, from what I understand, Mike Johnson is starting an investigation. Did you hear that?
No, tell us all about it, Cara.
Well, I just heard about it yesterday. Allegedly, Mike Johnson said that he is going to let Loudermilk proceed with a January 6th investigation. And one of the things they're going to be investigating is, what's his name? The January 6th select guy. He's very unintelligent. Benny Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Benny Thompson. He was supposed to give the GOP Congress all of the stuff that they had. You know, everybody knows that they destroyed evidence. So there were 4 terabytes on a hard drive, and when they opened the hard drive, there were only 2 terabytes, and everything was like encrypted and looked like it had been deleted. So they're going to actually be investigating the past January 6th committee, which is great news, because as you know, it is great news. They didn't mention Ashley Babbitt's name once, or Roseanne Boylan, or any of the people that died that day. It was just there. They were just there to obviously spread their fake narrative. So that's really good news, and I don't think that they know which direction they're going to go with the investigation. So maybe, you know, if you're here listening, you could write Loudermilk or Benny Johnson and give suggestions, like looking into the police brutality of that day and really looking into what's going on behind us right now, which is the due process and constitutional violations of all the people that are in this prison right now, and all the people that were in there pre-trial, and all the people that were held there under the quote-unquote Cressman rules, and all of the laws that they broke in the courtroom to keep these guys in jail and with these really insanely long sentences. So I think that's something that they could look at as well. So I'm praying for that, and praying for the good energy to stay here, and you know, more people to come join us. And hopefully in the summer, I think there'll be more people. Hopefully the people across the street stay away. It's so nice to be here listening to this Christian music with no interferences like, you know, the people that were here before. I won't name them. So God bless everybody. God bless America. You can follow me on Twitter at Cara Castronuova. You can see the video. Oh, I was going to mention too. I forgot about the video. I'm tired. I had a long day. I was up last night writing. But because Lila Morris decided to go out a secret entrance in the basement of the courthouse, I decided to interview the prosecutors and the federal agents as they came out that had escorted her out and hid her from the, you know, journalists. And you could see that. And one of the actual prosecutors, I don't think he's an actual prosecutor. He's on the prosecution team, because in the courtroom he's there with the prosecutors at the prosecutor table. So he must be like an assistant prosecutor. Literally pushed me. It's on video. Wow. You can see it on the Gateway Pundit. Like, they have no remorse, just like with Ashley and with Roseanne. I was thinking about it today. Like, they don't care. Like, they just manhandle women. They don't care. They don't think that there'll be any repercussions. He was fully well aware that there was a camera right there, and he still literally just body checked checked me out of the way as I was literally asking questions of the main prosecutor, which I'm allowed to do. He's a public servant, and I can ask questions. I'm a journalist, and the guy body checked me out of the way, and there's just no repercussions. So many people have reached out to me and said I should press charges against him, but in the psychopathic, upside down America we live in right now, doing something like that to draw attention to yourself with the federal government is a terrifying thing. So it's a frightening and unfortunate feeling to have to feel like you can't even report someone who assaulted you to the police, because then they could come after you. It's a scary America we live in, so I'm just weighing that in my head right now and thinking about what I'm going to do. But yeah, please check that out on the Gateway Pundit and on Twitter, and just everybody keep fighting and staying strong, because I know that God wins in the end. And
Amen.
Nikki, thank you so much for doing these vigils every night.
Thank you, everybody out here with us, Cara.
Yeah, you should see Cara in that video. You can see it on my Twitter page, her Twitter page. She's fearless. The guy gets in front of her and sets a basketball pick on her. So
Wow.
he does. He's a big dude, and he just takes her out with his whole body.
He was brave. That's crazy.
Way to take one for the team, Cara.
Mm.